Hi there, this is Sweet Annie from Sweet Annie Sounds, and welcome to this new installment from my weekly Ascension update. Today is May 9th, and we're a couple of days away from the new moon in Taurus. It's coming up on May 11th, mainly, May 12th, maybe some places. And new moons is a good time for new beginnings, kind of giving a fresh slate from the universe to maybe start anew or to set intentions for new things to come into our lives. It's a good time to especially this moon is this particular new moon is actually a good time to maybe not so much start something new with this sort of gung-ho energy unless you really feel it strongly. Of course, it's, you go with what you feel within. That's always number one. The astrology and the heavens is really just only a guide that's there to help us. But yeah, it's a kind of a bit more of an inward seeking moon, it feels like this time. It's kind of a time to retreat a little bit. Taurus is an earth sign, so it has a lot to do with stuff that goes on in the physical. It's also a kind of sensual sign, which means it's associated with the things of the senses, like the pleasures, especially. Venus is the ruler, and so money and love matters, and the stuff of the senses, the pleasures, the like food and wine and things like that is associated with it. But yeah, I sense that it's a kind of a more of a time to retreat a little bit for this particular moon and go within more so than go without, even though it's it's the earth sign. Excuse me. And also another thing that's kind of significant about this new moon is that Black Moon Lilith is rather involved and active at around this new moon. And Black Moon Lilith is has to do with this sort of raw feminine power that we have, that exists in the universe and it exists within us, and that's actually, whether you're a man or a woman, it's there. It's something you can tap into. But of course, I guess I'm speaking especially to women in this particular video. And I feel like use that as an inspiration to really step into your own power, to stop following other people. And I guess one of the things that I am really about in my work is that I want to empower you, empower myself, of course, but also inspire you to power yourself. And although I'm a spiritual teacher, I am not the kind of teacher who, what should I say, do predictions about the future too much, or channel in that specific thing. I do channel through my sound healing, but that's different. And although there's nothing wrong with tapping into the future at times, but what I find can be dysfunctional a lot of the time in our in the whole spiritual arena is that we often kind of give our power away to outside sources and to maybe just waiting for the next update, or maybe going to a psychic to find out what's happening maybe in your say your love life, or what's, because you're sort of, what I'm saying is that you come from a place of inferiority in a way, like they hold all the power and you're sort of dependent on them to give you to give you, I'm not trying to say the answers that you're seeking, instead of finding them within yourselves and also creating the reality that you want to see for yourself. And I'm kind of more of a fan of empowering people to find the power within. You know, all the answers that you seek are really within you. So, although of course there's nothing wrong with going to see a psychic, a spiritual coach, or listening to updates, from those who, talk about what may come around the bend. It's fine as long as you don't depend on that to or depend on it too much, I guess, so that it kind of, if something like that sort of either brings you up or crashes you down, it's more empowering for you to find that power within yourself. And I've been there too. I've definitely felt kind of desperate at times and not feeling stuck, and having had someone gone to psychics or whatever to try to find find answers and find out what's going to happen. I guess that's kind of the whole idea. Whereas we can actually create, to a certain extent, our future, our own reality, which is something I've come to find over the years is more powerful, So I think that, since I got my own spiritual awakening and started my Ascension process, I haven't really relied on that in the same way as I've had before. I know in the difficult times that we're in, it's definitely difficult times that we're in, and even, with everything that's happening in the world out there, but of course with things that are affecting us on a personal level as well, that when we feel a kind of desperation, we sort of want someone to tell us something good. We depend on that, like for the life, for our life. Whereas I really think that we have the power to turn things around for ourselves, and it really always starts with ourselves. And we all have psychic powers too, we all have intuitive powers, and we can find out it's actually more empowering too. And if we can find our own answers and strengthen our own intuition rather than depending on someone else, because I think that is really a lot of what we are being challenged to learn these days, is to not depend on someone outside of ourselves to kind of save us, like whoever that savior may be. It could be a person, it could be a potential lover, like someone that could save us from our whatever, our doldrum life, but it's really, and I think especially women may be a bit more of a victim to this because of the whole thing that, just how it's always been, that women have been dependent on men, and we aren't really anymore because of, equality in our society is in a whole different place now than it used to be. But I do still think that some of these patterns still exist in our society, where women may tend to sort of depend on a man in certain areas where it actually would be more empowering and better for herself and for her relationship with a man to actually change things around for herself, you know, and empowering herself. And I think that that's a lot of what this whole rise of the divine feminine is all about. That is really happening now. You know, the feminine is returning, the power of the feminine, and yeah. So it's really about finding your own anchor, your own strength, your own power within, knowing that you have the ability to create the life and the reality around you. And of course, together, you know, the more people do that, and especially then tapping into the power of love, which is at our core, when we can tap into that, which is really, you know, the heart center, the heart connection is what connects us all together. And we can be anchored in love and centered in love, then we can use that from a point of PowerPoint really to create from. You know, everything is kind of anchored in love, then it can't help but be beautiful things that you create and then attract yourself. And then of course, when we can stand together and create things within that within the light of love, I guess you can excuse me, you can say, then I really think that we can, as a community, as a really as a collective, whole humanity, you know, can really create something beautiful for ourselves. And I think the more we can then raise our vibration and tap into our own power and stand firm, stand strong in that. And it doesn't mean you necessarily even have to do very much. It's just about feeling that energy, you know, feeling the love, feeling the strength, feeling your own divine goddess feminine power. And that is really what we need more of, I think, these days. And so that was my little pep talk for today. And of course, I have my bowls here that I will want to do a little bit of a sound attunement with some light language, with some beautiful alchemical crystal bowls, and a little bird song outside too. I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if the mic picks it up, but they're there in the background and kind of bringing their little beautiful vibration to everything too. So yes, so feminine empowerment is the word of today. So I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and breathe into your heart. You can hold your hands there if you like, or just breathe into it. Focus your attention there at your heart. And also down below at your womb, just below the navel too. That's kind of our feminine center. So I want you to focus those two places and to kind of breathe in, just feeling that sort of centered power down below, but then also anchored in at the heart and at the love that is there. Take a few deep breaths there and just allow the frequencies of the sounds to penetrate deeply and to lift you up into your own sacred feminine empowerment. Have a beautiful week. Namaste.